He is a wrestling commentator that I think is one of the best out there in the independent wrestling industry. And let's bring him on right now, Mr. Mark Danger.
Hello, guys. How are y'all today?
Good. How are you? Long time no hear. How are you?
I am doing great. And it's great to be
where are you at right now?
I am in Lenore, North Carolina, which is probably about an hour and 45 minutes up north from Charlotte, up in the mountains. So I'm out in the boonies.
Bet it's beautiful out there.
It is. It's different from being in the city. I kind of prefer the city life, but up here it's quiet and it's less stressful. So
that's nice. It's great to have you on, Mark.
I appreciate it, and I see y'all doing a great job, and y'all getting really good guests on the show. So I'm proud of you guys.
Thank you. I greatly appreciate that. What we're going to do is Harold's going to interview you first, and then when he finishes, I'll interview you at my portion of the show. And ladies and gentlemen, if you want to call in and talk to the Mark Danger, call in at 773-897-6289 and press 1 to be in the hostess queue, and we'll get you on to speak to Mark Danger.
Okay. Hello, Mark. First question is, I only know you as a commentator, but can you give me some background on how you started and got into the business of professional wrestling?
Well, the way I got started, I want to say I was about 16 years old, and there was a wrestling school taught by Steve the Barlow Lawler. It was across the street, and I would go hang out. It was during the summer months when I discovered it, so they would have the back door open because it was hot and there was really no AC there, and I heard commotioning, banging, and I kept peeking my head through, and one day I got caught by Steve Lawler, and he's like, "You like what you see?" I'm like, "Yes, sir." He goes, "What do you like about it?" It's like, "I love it all." And he says, "Well, it costs money to train." I'm like, "Yes, sir, I know, but I don't have the money." And he just looked at me, and he saw I had the love and respect of the sport, and next thing I know, I was in the ring, and he was teaching me how to be a referee, and I went through a referee and doing little managerial stuff to commentary. So and I was always watched wrestling when I was a kid, and seeing him and him training me, I would never thought I would have opportunities to do something like that.
So, did you, other than Steve Brawler Lawler, is that who we're talking about?
Mm-hmm.
Did you train with other trainers?
Never trained with any other people. It was just mainly him. I had, in the wrestling class I was in, I had Infamous Murder 1 in the same class. So I got to see him break through, and the cool thing about me and Murder One, we actually went to the same high school, and he graduated a year before I did. But it was kind of cool knowing somebody from high school and doing something like that.
So you okay? So you started as a ref. Was that your first role?
I started training as a ref, and I was mainly refereeing all the training matches they would have.
Okay.
And it was just the guy who ran the promotion that had the wrestling school. He really never wanted me in the ring out in his shows, but the trainer and the wrestlers who were training, they're like, "Well, we want him because he knows how everything goes." And he's like, "He's there." It's like, we don't have another person that we got to tell, "Okay, we're going to do this." We got everything worked out, and he knows where he needs to be, where he needs to be, and knows how to interact with something. So,
right.
I've only refereed a couple shows, but just really didn't fathom. But just being able to train and be in the ring in front of somebody to do something, it was a dream, like a dream come true.
Now, Now, you also said you managed, is that correct?
I have managed. It was just little charity shows or benefit shows that we would do, and I would just maybe manage a talent here and there, and it was just something to do. So it wasn't like a full-time gig.
So over the years, about how many different promotions have you been with, let's say?
I would probably say about 8 or 9. NWA Atlanta, I think it's one of the when they started with Mid Georgia Championship Wrestling and went to NWA Atlanta, Amy Anderson and Jackie and all those great people there. That was about one of the longest places I ever stayed with one company, and they were so great. They were respectful, and I could tell that they loved the business also.
And recently, your old partner, Dave Wills, I don't know what your relationship is with him, but I heard that he was back at Peachtree Wrestling Alliance.
I knew at one point he was about a year ago, but really haven't talked to him since I moved. I don't know if he's still up there or not. As far as I know, he said he was done with doing wrestling, so I don't know how much true that is.
Well, this was very recently, like last week or something like that.
Oh, okay.
So I think he made a little bit of a comeback.
Yeah, that, and I knew they had an anniversary show, so he may have showed up for that. So.
And you said you're in Lenoir, North Carolina, is that correct?
I'm in Lenoir, North Carolina. There's some pretty good indie promotions that's up here.
That's what I was going to ask you about.
Which is Pro Wrestling Experience, and they have they're one of the few local wrestling indies that they did have TV up to a recent point, but that had TV. They have real good talent. They get some people from Ring of Honor to come in and work in their shows, and some people from Florida to come up, and they got a real good talent pool. They use some of the Georgia guys like Chip Day. I think Chip Day is one of the most underrated wrestlers out there. If he was just a little taller, I think he would be a huge star. He would be signed, but I think it's just because he's a little short, it kind of holds him back a little bit.
You think if somebody had a cruiserweight division or something like that he would fit right in there?
Oh, he would blow the cruiserweight division away. I mean, Chip, I remember when he first came in as Kid Ego Jr., and he was good back then, and he had even, with age, it doesn't show any rust. He's gotten so much better with every match, and he learns, and he's one of the good people that's in the wrestling business, and one of the good people is when you pay money to go see a show, he's worth the money to see.
Have you done anything with any of the promotions up there that you talked about up there in North Carolina?
I just did one thing with PWX, just helped promote it a little bit. Haven't done anything else with them. There's one guy that's coming, me and him started talking, and he maybe start running shows. There's nobody runs in this area, and he's a wrestler, and he's got a ring, and I told him, it's like, well, that's one thing you got going. You have a ring. It's just a matter of getting a building and getting people to come to work, and you can actually do something. So he wants me to help him and try to get things moving, and he wants me to be his commentator ring announcer. So it may be something I'll be looking forward to get back into full time.
Speaking of commentating, how did you get into that? I know you got a great voice and a great deal of knowledge. How did you?
Commentating, it's one of the funnest things, because with me, I always turn the volume off on the TV when I was able to watch the Braves game. I always loved turning the sound off on the TV and listening to the radio, because if you're able to, when you're doing commentary, if you're able to paint the picture and the fans can close their eyes and actually see that match happening in the ring, I think that's one of the best jobs you can do. One of my heroes and one of the people that I kind of adapted was Bobby the Brain Heenan. And I think he's, besides Jim Ross and Lance Russell, I think Bobby Heenan is one of the best commentators because he had the comedic side, but he also had the serious side of calling wrestling. And that was just one of my heroes, and that's who I adapted my style doing commentary from.
Yeah, I see that or hear that in your work. Brian, you got anything to ask Mr. Danger?
Yes. Hello, Mark. It's great. Once again, it's great to have you on the show.
Thank you.
I heard you mentioning Chip Day. I don't know if you got to check out Chip Day's match this past Sunday on In-Demand Pay-Per-View with Pro Wrestling Experience. He went up against Moose in what was a phenomenal matchup. He came very close to tapping out Moose, but Moose in the end hit him with a spear and like to just knocked him out, I guess you could say. But he ended up getting beat by Moose. But Chip Day's quite a phenomenal performer on the independent scene, to say the least.
Oh, he is. I mean, he's like one of the best out there. And Moose, he's on. I've seen him, and I've stood next to him, and he's a former. I want to say he's on either offense or defense, but he played for the Atlanta Falcons, and he's not a small person. He's very big. He's muscular, and for somebody that size, he's really, really agile. So, kind of wish he did that much earlier. I think he could have done a lot more in his career. But right now, I think he's enjoying what he's doing.
Yeah, I have to agree with that. I want to take you back in time a little bit, Mark, all the way back to MGCW, as it was once called, as it's now called NWA Atlanta. You were the commissioner of that organization, and you were once in a suit and a tie, and I got pictures, that I've made of you, when you were commissioner, and I got to ask you, how was that experience of being in charge and being the commissioner of MGCW at the time?
It was, other than Shannon Dumas aggravating me and trying to bend the rules and everything, but everybody else was pretty on tight. I would walk in, check things out, and look over things, and people were pretty respectful, but it's just, I don't know about what was Dumas's problem. It was just, me and him just didn't get along.
Yeah, I gotta say that I have to agree with that, because I remember he would aggravate you to death. He would come out there and say, "I should be the champion, and I need to take this briefcase and cash in my belt, and I should be the boss. Who you think you are?"
I know.
I remember that.
But
yeah.
But I'll give him respect. He's one of the good wrestlers out there. He's been at it for a while, but it's just longer you're in it, some of the people get smart and know how to bend some rules. And I was there to try to keep people from bending the rules, and I try to do the best that I could there.
Well, how was it? How was it on your show, Mark Danger's Weekly Rant? I mean, I know you used to do that on YouTube, and I never will forget the time you sent out the prayers to me, on your show, and I greatly appreciate that. And how was it coming up with different ideas each and every week for your show? I mean, I remember everything from the talk of Pamela Anderson to the beef jerky to the luchador mask. I mean, I remember all the stuff, and it was just. I guess you could say it was for a mature rated R audience. I guess you could say from not necessarily what you did, but from the words and the grammar that you used on the show.
Yeah. Yeah. So I would write stuff down like, okay, this is what I want to do, and I would hit the video camera, and I would forget all about the notes, and or I would read maybe the first two things, go over that, then I just forget about the notes, and I would just go off on a tirade. I may have something on the TV going and seeing something that would make me mad, and then I would just go off on that, or it would remind me of something and get me frustrated, and then I would just go off on that, and it was just more having fun and just having a little. Because being with the MCCW, NWA Atlanta, I had to be good, but it just kind of let the bad side of me come out a little bit. So.
Yeah. Yeah, I think if I remember correctly, I think you even at one time on your show, I think you covered the Janet Jackson wardrobe malfunction at the Super Bowl, as well as the situation with Britney Spears getting her head shaved. I think you even covered those topics, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, I mean, it's just, everything, anything and everything, it just, there was no limits for me, and I try not to push the boundaries too much, but sometimes you just gotta have a little fun. So.
Yeah.
Hey, Mark.
Well, go ahead, Harold.
I was going to ask Mark. In his opinion, like for 2015, who are some of the unknown or top wrestlers anywhere that we should be looking for to make maybe an impact?
I mean, there's several different guys. You got Euro Nation, who's from does stuff with CZW, who trains Mr. Hughes. He looks like he's a younger Bobby Lashley. He's very muscular, very agile. I see him having a great future. I see Jimmy Ray making a comeback, and he's one of the best people. I've seen him when he first started, and I would never expect him to go to Ring of Honor and TNA and become a big star with them, and he did. And I see him making a comeback and making another big impact in the wrestling. I see AR Fox, one of the other top individuals, and there's so much great talent. It's just hard to describe. And there's so many independent wrestling shows in Georgia. It's just a matter of finding one and just going to it and enjoying it, because you'll always see something different, and there's a lot of great promotions out there.
Okay. What about Lucha Underground? I unfortunately don't have the channel. Brian has graciously made me a few copies so I could look at it. But what do you think about Lucha Underground?
I've only seen just matches from YouTube, and I love it a lot. It's really fast paced, and it's more, to me, it's more of an old school meet new school style wrestling. And it's basically how Ring of Honor first started. But I think Lucha Underground can actually make a good run for its money, and they can gain a lot of exposures if they get enough good ratings, show it to other markets. They may be able to get onto a bigger TV station, a bigger market.
What do you think about Impact or TNA, whatever they're calling themselves, going to Destination America? Do you think that might revive that company?
I think it may help them. It's just they gotta stop with the thing with TNA. They got so much great talent. They got Gunner, who's an amazing guy. He's a hero. He's a veteran. They got Bobby Roode. They got so much great talent. It's just making them look strong, making them look like pro wrestlers instead of doing little TV stuff and it just takes away from the wrestling. If they focus on the wrestling versus 45 minutes of a storyline and doing something and taking away from the matches, it's just, that hurts the wrestling. They need to show the wrestling, showcase the wrestling, have a few minutes of backstage stuff, but focus on the wrestling. That's what the fans want to see. They turn the TV on to see wrestling. Not
right.
I hate to call it, but it's a soap opera when they go in the background when the divas are fighting over a costume or something with a match, and it's just it kind of takes it away. And once you kind of just I guess pollute it because you keep constantly doing it, it kind of takes away from any segments they do in the back because you can't take it seriously because if you're like most people, you're going to turn it off until and flip it back till they got wrestling. So
right.
It kind of takes that away.
Okay, Brian.
Well, I want to ask you this, Mark. I know that you've always been a fan of Starburst.
Yes.
So is Starburst still your favorite overall candy, or is there another one out there now?
It's Starburst. It's either Starburst or the little hot tamale candies, the little cinnamon chewy candies. But it's mainly Starburst, and they're just. I'm picky how I do my Starburst because I'll eat the lemons first, then I'll eat the strawberry, then I'll eat the orange, then I'll eat the cherry ones, and I eat them in a weird way, but I enjoy them.
Well, that's awesome. I want to ask you, how many years did it take you to when you decided you wanted to be a commentator and be a broadcaster for independent wrestling? How many years did you have to take to train to do that, and what kind of skills and knowledge did you have to go through in preparation for that?
I basically, when they decided when my little commissioner thing ended and they offered me the TV spot, like, hey, do you want to take it? I'm like, sure. And I thought it was going to be hard at first, but basically what you're doing is you're like the not necessarily the director. If anybody's seen like the DVDs, you got the people that does the commentary of how a particular scene goes, and that's basically how commentary works. You're the guy who's basically giving commentary to a video or to the audience, and you're basically putting in words what's actually happening in the ring. So it's not all fans not necessarily know what may be happening. So you're help explaining the scene and help explaining the situation.
Oh, okay. Let me ask you this. Now I know that before you and Dave Wills did the Dave and Danger show, how would you say that the Dave and Danger show differed from the Danger Weekly Rant that you used to have?
Well, the Dave and Danger show, we got to interview a lot. We got to interview great wrestling legends. We've had Bill Watts on the show. We've had Iron Sheik. We had when they had a wrestling convention in Georgia, and we were the only people that was able to get a hold of these guests. Iron Sheik was one of them. One of the biggest ones that we had was a 2-hour interview with Bruno Sammartino. And he did not do many wrestling interviews. He hardly did any wrestling interviews. And we were told it's like, you're one of the few people that's getting this. Nobody else is getting this. You better be on your best behavior. You better make this one of the best interviews. And
that's a coup there.
And right there, it was kind of hard because I'm sitting there, I'm scrambling, doing research about him and asking him, trying to figure out what to ask him. He was the WWF champion for years. He held the belt, and it's just he's done so much. And I think the only question I really came up with, and which I didn't tell Dave, and he gave me a strange look, like, I'm going to kill you. You're going to lose this interview. After I asked it was, I asked him, like, Mr. Sammartino, he goes, yes, sir. He goes, what was it like getting in a cage and wrestling a monkey? And Dave almost flipped, Dave's like turning red because he's mad. Bruno Sammartino was just laughing. He goes, "Oh no, it wasn't a monkey, it was an orangutan." And
oh my goodness!
I want to say he said he was like 16 or 17 years old, and this guy was offering money, it was like a little circus sideshow. This guy was offering money if you could stay in the cage with this monkey or his orangutan for like 5 minutes. And Bruno Sammartino, he says, it slapped me once, and he goes, I slapped it, and well, it wouldn't come back to me. He goes, and I stayed in the ring, and I won my money, and he goes, the guy didn't expect it, and he got furious about it, and me and him, we had words, but he goes, I enjoyed getting in there. People thought I was crazy, but I got in there and I did it.
Wow.
So you would say that he was. So you would say he was your biggest interview, I guess?
He was one of our biggest interviews. We've had, like I said, we've had him. We had Cowboy Bob Orton. I think he really didn't want to be interviewed. It's just we would ask him questions and he'd go, "Well, I don't remember this." Excuse me, or he just wouldn't say anything. We try to talk about Randy Orton a little bit. What did you think about his son wrestling for the WWE and him being a huge superstar? And he's like, it's okay. And he really, I don't know if he just really went into it or what was going on. So.
Hey,
that's very interesting.
Let's go back for a minute, Mark, to when I was in there, and I needed a referee name. Now, I'm kind of a little bit fuzzy. Who exactly gave me the name of Radar? Do you remember?
I gave you the name Radar because on TV Land, they always had the MASH Marathon, and when I saw you, and I forgot where we were at. I want to say we were in Stockbridge.
I think so, yeah.
But we're sitting there in the locker room, and you're like, well, I don't really have a name to go out with, and I just look, it's like, you're a Radar, because you're thinking about using Harold Martin.
You're right.
And that's like, that doesn't sound good. You look like Radar with those glasses. It's like, I want to call you Radar Martin. That's your name.
You're right, yeah. I've heard a few different stories about that, and I was trying to remember how that went.
Yeah, because I remember it was Stockbridge, Georgia before that.
Well, let me tell you, at first I didn't quite like it, but now I love it. So thank you very much. I appreciate it.
Well, the way I got my first name ain't really Mark. The way I got my name was because I was such a fan of the wrestling. The veterans call fans Marks,
right?
Because they are in the crowds, and well, that's how I got my name, Mark. And I'm going through high school, I'm thinking Mark, and I'm like, I don't like it doesn't go well with my last name. I want to play around with it, and then I came up with my last name, and we were watching Top Gun, and the Danger Zone came on. I was like, see, Mark Danger. It's like, I like that. And I practiced doing autographs. I'm like, that looks perfect. It's like, I like that. That's what I'm going by. And I told them what I was going by, and they got a kick out of it. And ever since, it stuck with them, and it stuck with me.
Well, I mean, I appreciate my nickname, you know.
That's so cool.
But all I gotta say, Radar is one of the best referees out there, and he goes out there, he does his job, he looks professional in the ring. There's some people that don't, but he's one of the more better referees out there, and I'm proud of him.
Well, I appreciate that very much. I thank you, for you guys for giving me encouragement and and helping me, when I had some questions and stuff like that over the time that I spent with you guys.
Yeah, and that's one thing I really appreciate and there's a lot of kids that come in wrestling who don't train long, think they know everything, and they jump in the ring. When what I was taught was, I don't care if you've been in the business 40 years or 50 years or 5 years, always ask questions.
Mm-hmm.
And every time I work a show with like a Tommy Rich or the Midnight Express or Rock and Roll Express or somebody who's actually made an impact in wrestling, I have never been afraid to go up to them and thank them for what they've done, and introduce myself, thank them what they've done, and just ask them questions. They got so much knowledge that they want to pass on if somebody would ask. And that's one of my pet peeves, is that nobody is willing to ask these legends questions. And they can learn.
I listen to them all the time, and I mean, I listen to them when they're talking about wrestling stuff, and I'm a referee, but I listen to them wrestling stuff because I want to listen and learn, and get these stories and from them. So
yeah, because I was taught two locker room etiquette. One, you shake their hand, you introduce yourself, shake their hands.
Mm-hmm.
If they're a legend, ask them questions. Next thing is, to pick you a spot with the dress out and everything, sit there and just keep your mouth shut. He says, don't be running your mouth about who's sleeping with who or running your mouth about this promotion. He's like, if you're able to keep your mouth shut and just sit there and mind your own business, you can learn so much other stuff about of just different things, of maybe legends talking to each other about family and learning how great they are with their family, or how they miss their family being out on the road, or learning stuff of, hey, we worked a match the other night, it didn't work, let's try something different, and just hearing different people just talk about how to correct things. And if you stay out of the drama, you'll do great. If you're part of the drama, then you're some of the bad part of the business.
That's good. That's excellent advice for everybody, in the business, what you just gave us.
I wanna ask you, Mark. Have you ever thought about doing stand-up comedy like Mick Foley does? Because I think you would do great at it.
I've always thought about doing it, and it's just talking in front of. When I was in high school, I took a public speaking class, and talking in front of people, I never had a problem with. Coming up with jokes, I really wouldn't have much problem with, and I would love one night, if I was back in Georgia, I would probably try to jump on the comedy scene. I was planning on doing it, but it's just, I ended up moving up here, and it's just, there's really not too much stuff to do up in this area, so it's kind of on a back burner, but it's something on the bucket list that I want to do and try and see what happens. And if I get one person to clap their hands, fine. If I get a boot off the stage, fine. It's just as long as I go out there, know I did my best. It's something I can just scratch off and say I done.
Yeah, I got speaking of a joke, Mark, because I know you're all about comedy, and I know you enjoy the laugh. I've got a joke I want to read to you right here on the show.
Okay.
The name of this joke is called Barbie Dolls. It says a man walks into the store to buy a Barbie doll for his daughter. How much is that Barbie in the window? He asks the shop assistant. In a manner, she responds, which Barbie? We have Barbie goes to the gym for $19.95. Barbie goes to the ball for $19.95. Barbie goes shopping for $19.95. Barbie goes to the beach for $19.95. Barbie goes nightclubbing for $19.95. And divorced Barbie for $395. The guy asks, why is divorced Barbie different from all the others? That's obvious, the assistant states. Divorced Barbie comes with Ken's house, Ken's car, Ken's boat, and Ken's furniture.
That's very true. That's very, very true.
Yeah, most definitely. I want to ask you though. We have about 4 or 5 more minutes, but I want to ask you, Mark. What are your opinions on Global Force Wrestling, Jeff Jarrett's company, coming to pay-per-view January the 4th of 2015, with Jim Ross commentating the show and a lot of other stars being there? What is your opinions on that company?
I'm really looking forward to it. I think that's gonna. Like I talked about TNA. If TNA stays to the wrestling, they'll be fine. But if they walk away from it, Global Force is just going to take over, and it's going to be something new. I think Global Force is going to give WWE a run for the money.
Mm.
And
I kind of feel the same way on that.
And I mean, they're going to have so much great talent. They're going to have Luke Gallows on there. They're going to have the Bullet Club. They're going to have stuff with Japan. And it's just going to be great. And I've talked to Luke Gallows. He's looking forward to it. And he's really excited. He thinks it's really going to be something. So.
You think Georgia Stars might have a chance at maybe appearing for him?
Oh, they'll definitely for sure will be there. You may see Kyle Matthews up there.
Oh wow, Kyle Matthews is a great talent.
He's great. I know he's coming off the injury. So,
yeah, the injured shoulder. Yeah.
So I think he's going to be up there. He's going to be able to do something. It's just he's just going to be great. And like I said, Jimmy Ray may come up there. He's going to come up there. He could probably go up there and lend a hand with some things. So it's gonna be great.
Well, in my closing question on my part to you, Mark, is I want to ask you, what are your thoughts of Sting's debut with WWE at Survivor Series?
I thought it was pretty great. It kind of, people knew he was coming in there, so it kind of took away from it. But other than that, it's just he made a huge impact. I think it was like either like a 3 or 4 minute or 5 minute. It was just stare down with Triple H. It was great. There was no emotion. There was no words. People were just chanting, "This is awesome," and nothing was happening in the ring.
Uh-huh.
And
yeah, I have to agree. It was amazing.
It's a long time coming. He should have been there years ago, but when Raw was during their when they were really going hardcore, pushing the sacks, and I mean they were just really pushing the edge every week. Sting is a devout Christian, and he just really didn't want to be part of it. And now with them toned down a little bit, being like a PG type company, he was willing to come and take part of it. So hopefully he'll get in maybe 1 or 2 matches. A lot of people are pushing for Sting versus Undertaker. It's one of the dream matches that never happened, and don't know if it will happen, and hopefully it will happen.
Well, I believe that closes my part of the interview. You have anything else you want to add, Harold? We got about, I think, a minute and a half left.
Well, I don't have a lot to say. I mean, we've covered. Mark's covered a lot of things here. He even covered some stuff that I was going to ask him. He got to it before me, but I do appreciate him coming on and gracing us with his
his knowledge
we
appreciate
and
you coming on, Mark.
And you're welcome any a time.
And
I appreciate you'll come back again.
And I saw y'all doing interviews, and I'm like, I want to ask him to interview me, but I was like, well, I don't want to be that pushy like person that wants to be on the radio. And I was like, oh, if I'll just watch and maybe they'll come out and they'll come out for me. And sure enough, y'all did. And when I saw the message yesterday, do you want to do it? I was like, I told my employees where I work at, it's like, I'm being interviewed on the radio tomorrow. It's like, y'all could work. I'm just going to take off and I'm going to enjoy this. And they got a kick out of it. And when
Brian told me that you were going to be on, I said, really? I was surprised. I didn't know.
Yeah, it was a privilege having you on, Mark, and you're welcome to come back anytime on the show.
Okay, I appreciate it, guys. And
all right.
I said, y'all keep up the good work.
Thank you. Take care.
Okay. Thank you. Take care. Bye-bye. Well, ladies and gentlemen, that was the Mark Danger from Independent Wrestling. He is an independent broadcaster.